Greetings, YouTube. It is I, Sakama, coming with a quick battle for Brohammer here. A 1v1 action. Sakama here against Kikian Lord underscore YT. Kikian Lord underscore YT. Do you have to wonder what does the YT stand for? I guess we'll never know. Mysteries of life. Anyways, I brought the High Elves over here, and I will be taking on the Lizardmen. And I think this is a very tough matchup for the pointy ears, the knife ears, the what are they called? Agarathi? What is the dwarves called? I don't know enough about lore with the derogatory terms for elves. Let's just call them Goopties. That's my new racist term for elves in the Warhammer universe. Goopties. Anyway, so the Goopties over here. What do I got with Goopties? I got Spearmen, 1, 2. You gotta have good racist terms for things, you know. Otherwise, what kind of society are you running? So you got 2 Spearmen here. You got 4 White Lands of Thrace, 2 Dragon Princes, which is a real killing power in my army. I have 1 over here in the woods. But I quickly bring them. I was hoping they might deploy over there so I could get a little surround, but I'm going to bring them back. There's no reason to leave them over there. It's Lizardmen army. There's not going to be a back line to speak of, so might as well bring them in. So 2 Dragon Princes army, 2 Dragon Princes, which are really just the killing power because Saurus Warriors will do pretty well against White Lands of Thrace, and then if they have 1 Dino, he'll just wreck my entire infantry because that is the way the Dinos work. So obviously I have to be a little wary. Use these guys very, very judiciously. And then of course I have 2 Nobles for that large killing power to be able to take down those dinos. And then Techless, and I have the Net of Amatok, Enfeebling Foe, and Regrowth, and then alongside a bunch of his other goodies. I think those are the his probably best loadout for dinos because the Net of Amatok, yeah, it has been nerfed, but you can do really the main nerf to it is the proximity. Obviously, it doesn't do it only targets single models unless you overcast it, but the proximity is a real nerf. But against dinos, what you're trying to net down is going to be large dinos. You're not going to be trying to net down maybe skinks, but other than that, you're going to be okay. My opponent did not bring any skinks. What did my opponent bring? He brought 1 Feral Cold Ones, and actually about to start, so I will slow it down. Brought a Feral Cold One over here with a couple of chevrons. Skin Cohorts, and I hate the Lizardmen banners because these are so similar. Skin Cohort to the Saurus Warriors. So how am I supposed to tell? Like, this should be like vertical or something, or totally horizontal, not diagonal. It should be totally different, or maybe face the other direction, just so I know which is which. Because I don't have time to zoom in this close when you're fighting the match. Obviously, at the beginning maybe you do, but that could cost you. And at the end of a game, a hectic game, you're casting magic and stuff, you're trying to figure out what engagements are good and which ones are poor, and I don't know. They need to fix that. The banners need to be significantly different. I mean, this is better. Axes, spears, very simple. I can tell everything. Lothran Seaguard, so White Lands of Thrace, Spearmen, easy. And not so with the Lizards, so they gotta fix that. And then, of course, so they got that. So they have a couple skin cords in the front, 1, 2, 3, I think. 1 all with shields, these Saurus Warriors in the back. A couple of Croxagors, which you don't see too often. What are the stats on these guys? 26, 26, that's why, because they're pretty bad stats. 84, they do get a bonus for infantry, so I don't know, what's that bonus for infantry valued at? Why is there no, like, large monster unit like this that has a bonus versus large, except for, Shaggots, I guess. But even then, they're kind of like cavalry because they're so fast moving. I think it'd be cool to have, like, Croxagars with bonus versus large or something like that. Anyways, I digress. Or like Ushopti. But anyways, that's the last thing Jim Kings need. But and then they have Lord Mazdamundi here. What do they got with him? Has the battle started yet? Oh, it has. So just a quick thing. He does charge in with these guys, so I'll pause it. He does charge in with these guys, trying to get a quick hit on this, but you'll see that doesn't work out well for him. So Lord Mazdamundi, what does he got? Ooh, he's got a lot on him. Ruination of Cities, obviously. Apotheosis, solid. Comet of Casadora, Coldblood. I'm not sure you need Comet of Casadora with Mazdamundi, especially against High Elves, because what are you worried about? Sword Masters, but Mazdamundi himself on Slack will just destroy them. I mean, he has 15 bonus infantry, so he has 41 melee attack, 41 melee defense, 7,500 health, 140 armor. He can heal. He's huge. It's a giant. He gets a giant charge bonus of 70, and he does 49 missile damage, poison. Like, I don't really think you need to bring Comet of Castor against Elves, but maybe against the Cav. But it's so easy to dodge. I think that's not the best pick, but anyways. And then this guy over here he's got whatever that ability is called. This one, Deadly Onslaught. So he's going to be jacked when he gets to a fight. And then all these stats. What are these stats being buffed by? I don't know. And Frenzy. That's what it is. Okay, and that's the army. Let's get this started. So over here right away you can see he tries to get a nice little hit in, but I thought these were Cold One Knights. I didn't realize they were Feral Cold Ones. So I netted him. That was kind of a waste of magic, but whatever. Easy to get off the field. 450, and I Enfeebling Foe them. That was a mistake. Although Enfeebling Foe is quite cheap, and Techless does have 1,000 magic, but you can see we just melt them so quickly, so that was not the best engagement for my opponent. He just basically threw those guys away. And you know what? To be fair, to get rid of some mobility, I don't know that was too bad of an option, although they probably would have routed off. Didn't need all that magic, but I'll take it. And also, it's a before my lines even met. Okay, so I thought I brought these guys back. Maybe I am still hiding them for a bit. That's a mistake. I should have just brought them back right away. There's no point. Again, I thought these were Swords Warriors, so I'm like, okay, let's get this charge. But obviously they're not. They're Skin Cohorts. So I just get a nice charge in, but there's a ton of damage, obviously. But my opponent's doing very smart. They're gonna absorb the charge here with the white lands. Are gonna charge these guys and do a lot of damage, sure. But they're skinks. Who cares? And these guys are gonna come in and be the real killing power. But I started moving my knights around the flank, my dragon princes rather. These guys are finally activated. I'll bring them in. I am moving my spearmen to try and help out against these Crocscars, but just this this is like 4 units or 3 or 4 units with these guys as well, fighting a single white line. So it's not gonna work out. But over here, I am trying to get Mazda Mundi, but I decided to net the Scar Veteran first. Probably a mistake. I probably should have gone after Mazda Mundi first, but I thought he might be easier to kill. But yeah, I end up triggering my wow, he gets a great Runic Cities, just decimating that archer, and doing a lot of damage to that one. But yeah, I should have gone after Mazda Mundi, but I decided to net him instead. Doesn't really matter. We're still fighting them both. And you see Mazda Mundi's taking a lot of damage. That's mainly from these nobles. Well, these nobles are taking it back too, so it's not really a great engagement for either of us. Probably better for me because he's taking a lot of damage. Of course, he can heal, and I mean I can, but my heals are far more expensive because I have regrowth, and his magic is less important to him because he only has regrowth, common to Cazadora, and then he has cold blood and a bunch of other ways to heal, whereas I do not. So as you can see, Mazda Mundi's just charging right through. He's going to get to these Lothar Zugar, but they do have spears, so that's not the worst engagement for them. He does pull Mazda Mundi through. My nobles do get caught. Over here, I'm just running cycle charges. Hopefully, like the longer these spearmen and white lines of the race can hold, the more cycle charges I can get. And you can see I actually break this line of Skin Cohorts, and well, not quite the other guys, but Skin Cohorts. So that's pretty useful. I do get a nice little net over here. So they are gonna. He does pop. What is that? Cold blooded. Yeah, he does pop cold blooded. But I have them net of Amatox, so they are gonna take some archer fire. These guys just rout, even though everything's not the end of the world for them. But whatever. I wish they would have stayed. Come on, guys. They're netted. They literally cannot move. You're totally safe. You're as safe as you'll ever be in the Warhammer world. I guess maybe not that safe. You'll probably be safe with Athalorian, but whatever. Anyways, so they start to retreat. I get my spear in the air. Again, they'll die very quickly, but they will do a little bit of damage because they have that bonus first large. Mazda Mundi's just pulling through because that's what he do. Over here, the Crocscars get hit. He's going to cast a common Cazadora. I'm not sure if I pull out in time. So he might get a really good Cazadora. So as I know, I am going to pull out in time. See, that's the problem with Common Cazadora. You need to get really blocked. You need to make sure you have a full surround. Otherwise, you're going to get very little value out of it. See, that did almost nothing, and it's a very expensive spell. I think I had like 10 magic or so. So we do manage to catch Mazda Mundi over here. Again, my Dragon Princes will not do that well against him. They have no bonus first large, and he's going to just decimate them. But I am just doing them there to help muck it up, help create more units to hit, so he doesn't just focus on my nobles. But as you can see, he does focus on my noble. It gets 2 crazy hits in there. It just does so much damage. And even though these guys are meant to kill Mazda Mundi, they're not doing a great job of it. Over here, you can see the infantry went very much in my opponent's favor. I am trying to pull this guy out, caught up on Croc scores, Saurus Warriors. This is not a fight he wants to be in. He will die very quickly. But I have some regrouping units over here. Mazda Mundi is very damaged, so is the Scar Veteran. But again, even with a little bit of health, they can decimate my army. This Scar Veteran alone. And Mazda Mundi, similar sort of problem. So you can see he's casting Apotheosis. They're so hard to kill. And my Dragon Princes are now virtually dead. They lost so much health in there. I had to try and keep them in there to keep that noble alive. It did not work, so instead I just lost a great unit and my noble. I am cycle charging with Techless, but that's going to do a whole lot of nothing, really. Over here, I mismicro these guys for a moment. I'd probably charge them in, then I mismicro them, but I'll pull them out in a second, I'm sure. But they are going to take a lot of damage longer than there. And they go. But Mazda Mundi is coming down, slowly but surely. We are getting him down. The Withering Arrow Fire, the use of the noble here, cycle charging from Techless. He gets a Ruination of Cities, but that's not going to do... it did okay. I mean, especially since he's going to die, it was probably a good move. He could have cast it over there, but it would hit more of his own guys. So it makes sense. I'm going to pull these knights or these Dragon Princes way over there. I do bring some White Lines of Thrace, and we do get him to break, and that is huge. Because I'm sure they must have popped Cold Blooded at this point on Mazda Mundi. So if we can just get him to die, that's a giant. He does. We do bring him down. He does bring in these Pterodon Riders, which I forgot to mention with the Fire Bolas, to try and muck me up, to try and prevent me from getting Mazda. But of course, as you saw, Mazda fell, and I think he just disappears, right? Yeah, so the Toad is gone, but Slack remains. Poor Slack. He didn't ask for any of this. He was just wandering in a pasture, dinoing about, and then suddenly Mazda came and said, I need you. You need to sit on your face. And Slack was unable to resist that offer by a giant smelly toad. And I mean, would any of us be that strong? I don't think so. I would totally love to have Mazda Mundi sit on my face. It's a delicious, delicious fetish of mine. Anyway, so after Mazda Mundi enslaved this beast, now it is dead at the hands of what did I call my guys? Guptis? Yeah, the hands of the Guptis. The Gupti scum, even though I'm on their team right now. Dragon Princes get a nice downhill charge with Rampaging Saurus Warriors, and this is actually a lot of endgame scenarios against Lizardmen, provided that you get to the endgame scenario, because usually Lizardmen crush High Elves, but a lot of the endgame scenarios against Lizardmen is that they start rampaging. If you have Cav, that is a huge advantage, because they'll just start charging your Cav. You see, they're going to keep coming at me. And as long as I can, pull my guys out, keep cycle charging, that could be devastating. They can't form boxes. They can't get back in line. They can't create a formation. So it's actually very, very advantageous for me to have them rampage. Although over here you can see it's just not. I mean, they still have that infantry advantage, but the real ace in the hole for me right now, pardon me, is these Dragon Princes. And you can see they're going to start gathering. My infantry will start to crumble. I sent my archers in because why not? These guys fled earlier, cowards. I do have some units who are grouping over here. I am bringing them back. And another great thing about Dragon Princes is they rarely rout. I mean, obviously they rout, but they often come back, and they often fight to like the last man. So you get a lot of value out of Dragon Princes if you use them correctly. I mean, even late game with 14 models, these charges will be huge in terms of morale, let alone damage, but morale is the big part. And you can see they can chase things off. These Crocodiles start to rout, so I'm going to make sure they don't come back. Over here, this is the healthier unit. They're just getting damage done. I'm sure I have almost no magic left for Teclis, but he's in there fighting. I mean, he'll do well against... oh, no, he's over there. But he'll do well against some units. I mean, he'll do a little bit of damage. He'll die quickly, but these are Saurus Warriors, but they do have a lot of high missile weapon damage, so it's hard to say. Over here, bring down another downhill charge with the Dragon Princes, getting good damage. The other unit has fled, but they return, and they still have... How many models? Come on, show me. 11, so they're still doing all right. The fight is still going on. They have tried to catch Teclis, and if they actually rout Teclis, they have a chance. That's really their only chance, to get rid of Teclis. And I send the Noble over here to take care of these Croc Scars, and he actually does really well. He does really well with that bonus versus large. But yeah, if they can't get Teclis, it's over. It's looking like, yeah, with these Croc Scars gone, that's going to be a hit to the balance bar. Another charge from these guys. They are going to try and muck up Teclis, but again, he's on the edge here. He gets out. A little techie. Tech 9. And then over here, I finish off these Croc Scars with a nice rear charge, and when they're gone, you can see they're all wavering, and it's just going to mass rout, and that's going to be all she wrote. So, GG my opponent. A very, very well-played game. It was a fun one. Tough matchup for the Goopties, the High Elves, rather. Lizardmen have a lot of tools they can use, and, I mean, really a lot of tools. I say, you just have dinosaurs, and dinosaurs wreck High Elves. You almost always have to bring this double Noble Goon Squad because you have no real answer to large other than that. I mean, you have Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers, I guess, which actually are good against Toads, and you see a lot of Toads these days because they, people bring high magic to prevent to counterplay against dragons. But having said that, you're still putting a lot of spend on something that's not going to be that great, and you're probably still going to lose the infantry fight. Is the issue. So you'll lose the infantry fight. Even if they don't have dinosaurs, although it'll be pretty close. You can see my White Lions did pretty well. So you lose the infantry fight. The issue being that you lose the infantry fight and you'll lose the large fight. So you kind of need those nobles to sort of back up and take care of those dinosaurs. Because if they, like I said, you lose the infantry fight without the dinosaur help. With the dinosaur help, they will just wreck you, and they'll put you in a coffin, bro. Put you in a coffin, and they'll bury you under just mounds and mounds of lizard manure, just sweet lizard manure. Little worms, still writhing as it comes out, and it's just not a glorious way to go down. Trust me, Croxgar poop, brutal, very very liquidy. Having said that, with a little bit of lore at the end there about Croxgar poop, I'll let you guys go. So yeah, happy war gaming. Happy not war gaming. What is this? Happy Total Warhamming. There we go. Total Warhammering. And I'll see you around the bend.